rush. 40 cal with the 50 round drum. Yeah, it's us. If he fuck with the family, then he better stand up. Yeah, we all in the streets with our fucking hands up. When it comes to the beats, yeah, we slice it all up. We don't fuck with police, yeah, they stand up.
We grind all year. We don't waste time. We grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. We grind all year. We don't waste time. We grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. 365, 365. I do not care what haters say. I do not care. They love tomorrow, but hate today. They love today. And they love to borrow, but hate to pay. Love to shoot, don't catch a fade. Yeah, 365, we grind all year. We don't waste time, we grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. We be outside. 365, 365. Baby, we grind.
Pitching. Man, I've been pitching. Gotta understand the vision. Ooh, it's a distance. You wanna tag me for some likes, but don't get no mentions. All my life I had to fight for all 4 inches. That I stack up, gotta stack up, get my racks up, back up, better back up, keep that thing tucked, act up. If he act up, we gon' all rush. 40 cal with the 50 round drum. Yeah, it's us. If he fuck with the family, then he better stand up. Yeah, we all in the streets with our fucking hands up. When it comes to the beats, yeah, we slice it all up. We don't fuck with police, yeah, they stand up.
We grind all year. We don't waste time. We grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. We grind all year. We don't waste time. We grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. 365, 365. I do not care what haters say. I do not care. They love tomorrow, but hate today. They love today. And they love to borrow, but hate to pay. Love to shoot, don't catch a fade. Yeah, 365, we grind all year. We don't waste time, we grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. We be outside.
pitching. Man, I've
Hey,
been pitching.
hey,
Gotta understand the vision.
hey.
Ooh, it's a distance. You wanna tag me for?
What's good, y'all? Hope everybody's ready to get to it. You know what I'm saying? It's action time, you dig? It's action time. It's action time, you feel me? It's action time, y'all. You know what I'm saying? When you pop in, first thing you gotta do is hit that like button. Straight like that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing more, nothing less. That's all I'm asking you. Drop some comments if you feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy these ass whoopings that I'm about to be putting on. You dig? You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we do. This is how we moving. You feel me? Appreciate it. Shout out my team, Royal Family, and the members. You dig? And if you in here watching right now and you hit that like button, you dropping comments, you a member too. Mbrs member. You dig? We getting it popping, man. So last time we had we was playing some Billy Carson, you know what I'm saying, last time. So, you know, shoot, I think let's see. We got a lot more. I think we gotta finish that. We gotta finish that interview. So that's what we gonna do. We gonna finish the interview. Maybe. As soon as I find, there we go. There we go. I gotta sync shit, bro. So just bear with me. Kansas City and 49ers in the Super Bowl. I already knew that was gonna be happening. I already knew that shit was about to be happening. That's not new to me at all.
Bluetooth connected.
That ain't new to me at all.
That's not new to me.
You know what I'm saying? Oh wow, it didn't just synced all of a sudden to this. What we doing? All right.
Bluetooth pairing.
There we go. All right. Then we good right here. Here we go. Do a scan right quick. There it is. All right, let's see. Who did we play last time? We played this nigga. Dogged him. He quit, I think, first quarters. Something like that.
Power off.
What y'all doing though, man? What y'all got going? What y'all up to?
Power on. Bluetooth pairing.
All right, we're gonna pair. There we go.
Bluetooth connected.
All right. The last time we was 6-0, 5-0. What was it? 5 or 6-0? I don't know. So let's see if we can keep the streak alive today. That's all I'm about. I'm trying to keep this little streak alive. Big Ron, 7-6. All right, there we go. Let's go. There it is. See, I'm doing it from this phone. Okay, Sean Ryan. There we go. Will they take it down? Oh, there we go. All right, so I think we had like 52 minutes left. We had like 52 minutes left in this right here. So you did Pop in, hit some comments.
For medical bills?
I don't know if y'all done heard this before.
Sometimes it.
You know what I'm saying? But we gonna get right into it. There we go. And the Antarctica stuff is beautiful too. Alright, so we're gonna go right there. Billionaires in opposition with space, right there. Alright. Pardon the ads, y'all, because I'm on I'm on a totally different phone, okay? So I'm not on my iPhone. I'm on the Galaxy right now, so you know what I'm saying? Flame me up. Y'all could flame me up for not being for not having this stuff, but it's all good, man. I understand. All right, here y'all go.
Sure, you're in the trillions of dollars.
And I will be talking shit through this as well.
To go visit a cold, dry rock. So it makes these billionaires start asking questions, and then they're in the in crowd so they can get some answers, and they find out that Mars is not exactly what we've been told in terms of habitability. We found out that Mars, we were told, was a cold, dry rock with no magnetic field, and DNA would just unravel based on the radiation. All of a sudden, the new science has come out. Mars has a rotating magnetic field, and not only that, it spins on its axis almost at the same exact speed of Earth. So a day on Mars is like 23.5 hours. And so that speed of the rotation on its axis creates something called...
I'm trying to make sure everything I can hear.
Cosmic rays and
y'all can hear out there, so we good.
Along with the weakened magnetic field, you can actually survive. Anything with DNA can survive on the surface. Also now,
this is the Billy Carson
unit we sent there, and there's oxygen. There is oxygen.
on the Ryan.
Yes, there's oxygen.
Sean Ryan show.
Guess what they said about the soil? They said the soil on Mars is better for growing crops than the soil on Earth.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. How would they know this, right? Also, there's not just oxygen, but all the other gases that are needed to sustain biological life. Now, is oxygen still leaking out into the atmosphere? Yes, it's still leaking out into the atmosphere, but it's somewhere being generated. They keep finding more and more oxygen is being generated from somewhere as it's leaking. So who's creating or what is creating this oxygen? I believe, my personal opinion, this is not any science book, that there are trees and plant life on Mars based on some of the satellite images that I've seen. I'm going to send you some to show to your viewers with the source links and so they can look it up themselves and see for themselves what I'm looking at. I believe that there's a source that is generating, and they've also found a lot of methane. Why is there methane? Methane is usually a byproduct of a biological process. There's a lot of methane on Mars, which means something is alive and something is creating waste product. Now, I don't see any cows on TV on Mars, so something's up there. They don't want to tell us what it is. So my personal opinion, based off of my research and what I've seen in some of these anomalies that exist in the images, they are building a breakaway civilization on Mars because that's the next big place to go and create their own thing. And there's an infrastructure that is being built there for a very, very long time.
Denver Broncos.
When they arrive, they are
First
going to
victim.
inhabit those infrastructures. They're not going to be living in a tin can and walking around in a spacesuit until they die. Billionaires that have the creature comforts of this planet, oceans, lakes, rivers, private jet flights, parties and mansions and everything else, aren't going to go live in a tin can until they die. There's something up there that they know exists, and they're going to live in it. Most of it, I believe, is underground, subterranean, and that's where they're going. And it's a great place to become an explorer. I wouldn't mind going to Mars. If I can get a way to get a ticket to Mars, I actually believe I would go. I would love to see some of these anomalies that I found up there with my own eyes.
I need to correct myself. It's by 2050. They're
2050?
saying Mars will be inhabited.
Well, actually, he's changed that. Okay, look at some of the older articles. Originally, it was 2020. Then I believe it was 2025, then 2030. Now it's 2050. Originally, he wanted to take 80,000 people. Then it went up from there. I think it's now 1 million people he wants to do it with. So it keeps changing. You might have heard 2025 or read it somewhere before, but the timeline keeps changing as the reality of the technology accomplishing its mission changes. And he's utilizing something extremely dangerous to get there. I would never go with Elon Musk technology because it has too many components. First, it has to lift off from Earth and go into space, not with no people on it. Then it's got to build its own space little station up there, right? And it's got to fuel up. And then another thing has to launch and connect to that. And then they both have to take off and go to Mars. And then something's got to detach and go down to the surface and start building things and doing this and doing that, getting fuel ready for a return or whatever they need for whatever they need to create on the surface. And then after years of that going on, then people get in the ship and they take off and this other thing has to come back and they got to connect to that and they got to ride that to Mars.
Just that easy. First play of the
Can
game.
happen? Are you kidding me? This is like a bad deck of cards just waiting to collapse. One mistake anywhere in any component and everybody's dead. So to me, it's a joke. I mean, I'd rather go on Branson. Richard Branson has a better idea. He's got a space plane. It takes off, it flies into space, it comes back. It doesn't even have the heat tiles underneath it because it drops through the atmosphere and comes straight back in, and then it flies back to the ground. I'd rather go on something like that than go on something that has 100,000 connections that have got to be made before you can even step foot on the surface.
Yeah. Why do you think that these elitists are done here on Earth?
You know, it's like, how many times can you beat a dead horse? And the big problem we have is a lot of people are waking up now, right? Evidence of that is that fact that we're sitting here talking about this on this podcast to millions of people. I'm on mainstream TV shows. I'm on History Channel,
terrible
Discovery Channel,
kick,
Science
man.
Channel, Travel Channel. I'm on mainstream shows talking about these topics.
That was a
because
terrible
people wanna hear
kick.
them now. When I first started talking about this stuff, I would hide in the bushes and talk to one like friend. And now all of a sudden I could talk to the world through many different platforms. So the world is waking up, the world is changing and becoming a much different place. And how long will it be before the people say, we're not gonna play your game anymore. We're just done. And this whole thing shifts in another direction. And that could cause a lot of turmoil in the transition process, a lot of wars, fighting, civil wars. It can cause economic collapses, which can cause a lot of starvation and poverty in the interim while things recoalesce. And they're thinking, you know what? How can we avoid all of this? Let's just go to Mars, start fresh.
That's interesting. I mean, what do you in your mind? Do you think this is going to happen by 2050?
I believe it could happen before then, actually. Yeah, I think that the technology he's talking about utilizing is basing it on technology from like 2015. That, any technology that's using now was developed 10 years ago. And so by 2050, you're talking about technology that he probably had developed maybe in 2038 or something like that. So I think it'll happen a lot sooner than that. And I have a lot of, I'm an optimist. I have an optimistic mentality. I believe that I have a lot of optimism in humanity that we are going to come through this time in our short lifespan on this planet through what we're doing to each other, the divide and conquer tactics, the separation, the division. We're going to see through all this illusion that's been put on us and programmed into our bodies. I think eventually we're going to rise up and take back control of this planet, reform this global economic system in something that's positive, that works. And I believe we're going to start heading back towards a golden age again. There were golden ages in the past on this planet, and I believe that we're headed back to another one again. It's going to take some time. It's a gradual, slow process, but look where we came from in only 100 years, like I said earlier. A horse, buggy, and carriage are putting cars in space. So I believe that it's going to happen. I think that we've gotten past this nuclear scare, my personal opinion. I think that the beings up there let us know by showing up at these flights and these missile silos and deactivating our nukes that we weren't going to be able to use them whether we wanted to or not anyway, after what we did to Japan and so forth. And so I just believe that we're in a stage right now where we got past destroying ourselves. And after we get through this arduous process of learning how to walk, because we're children, we got to learn how to walk. Then we'll learn how to run. It's going to take some time, but we'll get there. So if you look at Mars, you'll find that a lot of the anomalies are kind of really resemble ancient structures on Earth. Not only that, we've actually discovered things that look like, and we can't say they are because we're not there, that look like ankhs. You know, the shape of the Egyptian ankh? We found people laying on the surface of Mars in different areas.
There's Billy Carson right here, y'all. Billy Carson.
How in the world can the Egyptian ankh be on Mars?
He's talking about some real dope stuff, y'all.
Talking to size of mountains that look like.
Right now he's talking about
Why would that be
stuff
on Mars
stuff
and
on the
Earth?
moon and
Building
Mars
these
and
remnants
stuff
of
like
what
that.
looks like ancient structures that resemble the same construction.
And how he don't really like
techniques of
Elon
Peru
Musk's
and Bolivia and Egypt and everywhere else.
Information on
And so
things
it's like,
because it's
why in the world
outdated.
would we see something so similar on Mars and on Earth? What is the connection? When you go into the ancient Sumerian tablets, you discover that there were beings living on Mars called the Igigi in these ancient tablets. They were the working class Anunnaki people, and they were up there creating a breakaway civilization, but the atmosphere was very harsh as it is today. And so they were complaining to their rulers who were on Earth, Enki, Enlil, and Anu, that the conditions up there were kind of harsh, and they don't mind it, but they would just like to have a break. And they also said, and by the way, we would love to have some women too. They didn't have any women, supposedly. They wanted some women, and they wanted to take a rest.
Boy.
And so they weren't given a break. And so in the epic of Atrahasis, they decided to go to war against the kings of Earth. These are the sons of God. Anu was called the God figure, and his sons would be these Igigi beings. The sons of God that fell to Earth and rebelled against God. They came down from Mars to Earth. They encircled the campus in South Africa called Adam's Calendar. And the whole thing is scripted out in this tablet, how they were about to go to war, literally, and fight. And then Enki says, I have an idea. There's an existing hominid on this planet. We can add our essence to it and get it to bear your load. So an agreement was made, and the war was thwarted that one time. And eventually they did go to war. However, these beings were traveling back and forth from Earth to Mars. They had the same construction technique, the same concepts, the same knowledge and everything else, the same blueprints, and they were building a concurrent running civilization on Mars that was running on Earth. And that's why when you look at
illegal
some of these
contact
images,
though,
we've downloaded,
like
meaning
when?
my team of anomaly hunters have downloaded over 1 million images and have cataloged over 60,000 amazing anomalies from Mars image data that shows you this is not just a rare thing, a rare occurrence. It's circumstantial evidence that links Mars to Earth. Another incredible thing. Remember, they took women. They said they took women back with them in this tablet.
Interception coming.
Circadian rhythm.
Interception
is actually more
coming.
in tune to Mars daylight and night cycle than the Earth daylight night cycle. That's real biology, real science. That's interesting. So you start putting all these pieces of the puzzle together, and all of a sudden, it looks like we have a direct connection with Mars, the god of war. And why the god of war? Because in that last war, according to the tablets, it extended all the way to Mars. And what has happened on Mars? It looks like it was in a war. And when you analyze the Mars Global Surveyor data and the other data from the rovers, you find that there's xenon in the atmosphere and xenon in the soil. Not any kind of xenon, weapons-grade xenon.
He about to quit, y'all.
Nuclear warfare. Where'd that come from? Pretty interesting.
Very interesting. Let's move into some consciousness stuff.
Okay.
So I would like to talk about quantum entanglement and consciousness and how they blend together.
Yeah, beautiful. That's a huge topic. I talk about that in my Manifest Destiny classes every year because it's a huge topic for people to understand how they're manifesting and how they're even getting ideas. A lot of the times you're entangling with information. If you go into a laboratory and you take two particles and you use a laser with something called parabolic down conversion, you can get those particles on the same frequency. Once you get those particles to vibrate at the same frequency, you can entangle them. Once they're entangled, what happens is, let's say they were atoms, right? Mm-hmm. Atoms all have spin rates. So you can get one is spinning rating up and the other one is spinning down, and they're entangled. If I take the atom that's spinning down and take it to the other end of the galaxy, or the other end of the universe for that matter, if I had the capability, if I was to make the one local to me spin up, the one that's down will go up, and vice versa. I can utilize that to send rudimentary communication through ups and downs, zeros and ones, right? So you have this entanglement that happens which bypasses the speed of light. It bypasses space-time. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance, right? So now what scientists discovered later on is that our thoughts phase in and out of this dimension, our synapses between our neurons and our own brain. They disappear sometimes and go where? They say that they're going and entangling with information in other dimensions, other places. So I began to hypothesize that this could be the reason behind ideas popping up in your head, people unknowingly developing the same inventions at the same time in different parts of the world simultaneously, roughly around the same time, and also the capability for people to manifest things and attract things into their life. A lot of the times I believe that these way that you're thinking and focusing your mind, your brain, your conscious energy, it becomes a magnet. So if you look at Einstein's theory of relativity and you look at a planet, you'll see that a planet warps space around it. That's why gravity happens. Things fall toward the mass because space is warped.
We're doing coaching suggestion on this
Replace
nigga.
that planet with your consciousness. Now that's warping the ether of this metaverse. And what's happening is things are falling toward you when you focus on them. The things that you want to bring into your life, negative or positive, whatever you focus on, is falling toward you. A lot of the times I believe that part of that falling toward, the initiation of it, is an entanglement.
Hit that like
When
button.
you start to focus your mind heavily on a specific thing that you want to manifest into your life or bring into your reality, somehow those synapses entangle with something in the universe.
Coaching
and the
suggestion on
universe
this nigga, man. This
send
game
this
over.
his way, send this her way, and it begins to fall toward you. And this is how I believe on the spiritual level, this ability for us to attract